The Galactic Council gathered in orbit above a dead star, a place where light had once burned, but now only darkness remained. The star's cold remains drifted like ash, frozen and lifeless. This was where the Council judged new civilizations. This was where empires ended. Thousands of alien warships filled the void. They formed layers upon layers of steel and energy, covering space like a metal storm. Their weapons were charged. Their shields glowed. They had come ready to crush another weak species. They waited for the humans. When the human fleet arrived, the Council felt confusion instead of triumph. Only one fleet emerged from the void. It was small, clean, silent, dull. Battle cries echoed through space. No warning signals were sent. No threats flashed across the comm channels. The human ships moved forward in perfect formation, smooth and calm, like a single body breathing together. Their engines burned soft blue, steady and controlled. They did not rush. They did not slow. They simply arrived. This was wrong. The galaxy had faced thousands of species. Every first contact followed the same pattern. New civilizations showed fear. They sent frantic messages. They begged. Or they attacked in panic. Humans did none of that. Alien commanders leaned forward in their command thrones. Ancient beings with scales, metal skin, or glowing eyes stared at the human fleet. Their minds searched for weakness. They found nothing. Scanners swept over the human ships again and again. Long-range sensors, deep scans, energy readings. All failed. The human hulls absorbed every signal like black water. Their armor returned no data. Not heat, not power levels, not even mass readings that made sense. A murmur spread through the council chambers. How can they hide everything? One admiral whispered. Another clicked its mandibles in irritation. Trickery. They are hiding fear. Yet no matter how long they watched, fear did not appear. The human ships held their line. They did not advance further. They did not retreat. They did not respond. They waited. That single act disturbed the galaxy more than any weapon. Waiting meant confidence. Waiting meant control. Veteran admirals who had destroyed star systems felt unease creep into their thoughts. These were beings who had watched suns explode and planets burn. They had never doubted victory before. Now, doubt entered quietly. The Council issued a demand. A standard message used for centuries. Surrender your worlds. Submit your forces. Serve the galactic order. The message echoed across space, powerful and final. The human fleet did not answer. Seconds passed, then minutes. Silence pressed against the Council like a heavy weight. Some alien commanders shifted in their seats. Others adjusted weapons, uncomfortable with the lack of reaction. Perhaps they did not receive it. One suggested. The message was sent again. Stronger this time. Still, no reply. The human ships remained unmoving, their formation perfect. Not a single ship drifted. Not a single weapon powered up. The galaxy began to feel watched. Then something changed. From the center of the human fleet, one vessel moved forward. It was smaller than the others, unarmed by visible design. It crossed the empty space slowly, deliberately. Alien weapons locked onto it instantly. Destroy it. A council member hissed, but the command did not come. The ship stopped at the boundary line. The invisible border no species had ever crossed during First Judgment. A pause followed. Then a hatch opened. Every sensor focused, every weapon charged. From the small human ship, a single figure emerged. A lone human soldier stepped into the void. The soldier wore dark armor, simple and smooth, with no markings of rank or pride. A clear visor showed a human face, calm, focused, unafraid. No weapon was raised. Hands were visible and steady. The soldier floated forward, alone, with thousands of alien guns aimed directly at them. A hush fell across the Galactic Council. No species had ever sent one being to face judgment alone. No species had ever shown such trust in silence. The soldiers stopped and waited. No speech followed. No message. No demand. Just stillness. In that moment, ancient alien leaders felt something they had long forgotten. Fear. Not fear of attack. Not fear of defeat. Fear of the unknown. Because whatever humanity was, it was not weak. And whatever Earth's army had planned, the galaxy had already made its first mistake by underestimating them. The Galactic Council did not like silence. Silence meant loss of control. For thousands of cycles, the Council ruled through fear and noise. They shouted commands. They showed massive fleets. They crushed resistance before it could grow. Every species learned quickly who held power. Humans did not follow the pattern. The lone human soldier remained still at the boundary line. Weapons across the alien fleets stayed locked on the small figure. One order was all it would take to end the human's life. Yet no one gave that order. Instead, the Council began to speak among itself. They send one soldier? An insect-like admiral hissed. Insulting. A trick, another replied. They hide weakness behind confidence. The oldest council member, a being of crystal and light, studied the human carefully. No, it said slowly. They are testing us. That idea angered the others. Humans were new. Their world had barely reached the stars. How dare they test the galaxy? The Council decided to remind humanity of its place. A massive alien warship moved forward, dwarfing the human soldier. Its hull was covered in weapons, each one capable of cracking a planet's surface. Lights flared as it powered up, casting long shadows across the void. A transmission boomed across space. Human, the Council declared, you stand before powers older than your sun. You will kneel, or you will be erased. The words were meant to terrify. The human soldier did not kneel. The soldier did not move at all. Behind the soldier, the human fleet remained silent. No weapons activated. No ship shifted position. It was as if the entire fleet had frozen in time. The Council took this as proof of weakness. They cannot respond. One commander laughed. Their systems must be failing. Weapons charged higher. Then, finally, the human spoke. The voice was calm, clear, unshaken. We are not here to kneel, the soldier said. We are here to stand. The words were simple. Too simple. The Council reacted with mockery. Stand. An admiral repeated. Against us? The human did not answer right away. Instead, the soldier turned slightly, gesturing toward the human fleet behind them. We stand together, the soldier said. That is enough. The alien commanders laughed openly now. They counted ships. They compared size. They measured firepower. Every number favored the galaxy. The Council made its decision. They would not destroy the human fleet yet. That would be too quick. Instead, they would humiliate Earth. They would show every watching world that resistance was pointless. A smaller alien cruiser moved forward. Its weapons were set to disable, not kill. Fire, the Council ordered. A beam of energy shot toward the human soldier. It struck. The Council expected screams. They expected panic. They expected the human fleet to react. None of that happened. The energy beam faded, leaving the human soldier exactly where they were. Unharmed. The armor absorbed the attack as if it were nothing more than light. A ripple of unease passed through the alien fleets. That was a weak shot, one commander said quickly. Increase power. The cruiser fired again. Stronger. Hotter. Again. Nothing. The human soldier did not even look down. Now the laughter stopped. The Council ordered a full scan of the soldier's armor. The scanners failed. Every attempt returned blank data. No heat buildup. No power readings. No visible damage. The human soldier looked up at the massive warship above. "You have made your point," the soldier said. "Now allow us to make ours." Before the council could respond, the human fleet changed, not with sudden movement, not with flashing weapons. Instead, space itself seemed to shift. Human ships adjusted position by small amounts, almost unnoticeable. Yet every alien sensor screamed warnings. Targeting systems lost lock. Navigation data became unreliable. The galaxy's technology, perfected over millions of years, was being quietly undone. The council tried to reassert control. "Hold formation," they ordered. "Prepare all weapons." But doubt had already spread. If one human soldier could stand unharmed before their fleets, what else could humanity do? The lone soldier remained calm, surrounded by enemies. Waiting. The galaxy had chosen arrogance. And arrogance, as many forgotten worlds had learned, was always the first step towards silence. The Galactic Council expected a speech. They expected threats. They expected demands. They expected noise. What they received was silence. The human soldier remained in place, floating calmly before the massive alien fleets. Behind them, Earth's ships completed their quiet adjustments. The movement was subtle, almost respectful, yet every alien system began to fail in small, terrifying ways. Target locks flickered. Weapon timers reset on their own. Communication channels filled with static. Commanders barked orders, but their voices overlapped in confusion. "What is happening to our systems?" One shouted, "Reset the network. We are losing formation." The council tried to remain calm. They told themselves this was temporary, a glitch, a clever trick. But the silence continued. Then the first alien ship vanished. There was no explosion, no warning, no burst of energy. One moment the ship was there, its hull glowing with shields. The next moment, empty space replaced it. Every eye turned to the gap where the ship had been. Scanners searched wildly. Nothing. No debris. No energy trace. No wreckage. It was as if the ship had never existed. Fear moved through the fleets like a cold wave. "Report." The council demanded. No one had an answer. The human soldier finally spoke again. "We asked for peace." The soldier said calmly, "You chose force." The words were not angry. They were factual. The council's pride shattered into panic. "How did you destroy that ship?" One commander demanded. The soldier did not reply. Another alien cruiser attempted to retreat. Its engines flaring bright. It vanished. Again. No sound. No light. Just absence. Alien fleets broke formation as commanders tried to regain control. Ships collided. Shields flared uselessly. Panic spread faster than any weapon. The humans did not chase. They did not fire wildly. They waited. The human fleet moved again, smooth and controlled. Ships glided forward, surrounding alien vessels without touching them. It was a silent encirclement, precise and inescapable. The council realized too late what was happening. Earth's army was not attacking fleets. They were removing options. Weapons would not fire. Engines would not respond. Communications failed between ships. The galaxy's greatest armada became blind, deaf, and trapped. One alien admiral screamed in fury. "Destroy them. Fire everything." 100 weapons tried to activate. None did. The human soldier floated closer now, closing the distance with steady motion. "You misunderstand us," the soldier said. "We did not come to conquer." The council listened in silence. "We came to stop you." Another alien ship disappeared, this one directly behind the council's command vessel. The message was clear. The humans could reach anyone. Anywhere. At any time. The council felt fear tighten around its thoughts. "You are few," a council member said weakly. "You cannot control the galaxy." The human soldier's voice remained calm. "We do not need to," the soldier replied. Only those who choose violence. A new realization struck the alien leaders that human weapons were not random. They were selective. Only ships that aimed weapons vanished. Only commanders who gave attack orders lost control. Those who remained still were untouched. Across the battlefield, alien fleets began powering down weapons on their own. One by one, silence spread again, but this time, it was not confidence, it was surrender without words. The Council watched as its greatest military force became harmless in minutes. No long battle. No heroic last stand, just control. The human soldier turned slowly, looking back toward the human fleet. A signal passed, simple. Brief. The vanishing stopped. No more ships disappeared. The humans had made their point. The galaxy understood now. Earth's army did not need noise. They did not need destruction. They had mastered restraint. The Council faced a truth more frightening than defeat. They were no longer the strongest power in the galaxy, and the beings who replaced them did not shout their victory. They waited. The galaxy had prepared for war. It had expected fire, destruction, and screams across space. It had expected heroes and last stands. It had expected the kind of battle that would be remembered for ages. Instead, it faced something far worse. Control. The alien fleets floated helplessly, surrounded by human ships that moved like quiet shadows. Human weapons remained cold. No explosions filled the dark. No debris drifted through space. The battlefield felt empty. Alien commanders tried again and again to regain power. Engineers worked in panic, running commands, restarting systems, rerouting energy. Nothing worked. Every path they tried led nowhere. Human technology adapted faster than alien minds could follow. The Galactic Council watched in disbelief as report after report came in. We cannot fire. We cannot move. Our ships are locked in place. The Council had ruled through fear for millions of years. Now fear ruled them. One alien captain finally broke. Their ship powered down weapons completely. Shields followed. Engines went silent. The humans did nothing. That scared the galaxy more than an attack. Another ship followed. Then another. Then dozens. Entire fleets shut themselves down, hoping to avoid whatever fate had erased the others. The human soldier floated calmly among them, a quiet witness to their collapse. This is a trap, one council member whispered. They are waiting for us to expose weakness. But no attack came. Instead, human ships repositioned again, gently, carefully placing themselves between alien vessels. It was not a formation meant to destroy. It was a formation meant to contain. Council realized something too late. This was not a battle for territory. It was a lesson. A senior alien admiral opened a channel, their voice shaking. "Human," the admiral said. "What do you want?" The human soldier paused, as if considering the question. "We want this to end," the soldier replied. The simplicity of the answer stunned the Council. "You could destroy us," another commander said. "Why haven't you?" The soldier's face remained calm behind the visor. "Because destruction is easy," the soldier said. "Control is harder." That truth cut deeper than any weapon. The galaxy had always destroyed its enemies. Burned worlds. Broken species. Victory had meant survival through fear. Humans had chosen a different path. They neutralized without rage. They disabled without cruelty. They dominated without celebration. The Council felt its power slipping away, not through defeat, but through exposure. Every watching civilization across the galaxy saw the same thing. They saw the mighty Council helpless. They saw human ships restraining themselves. The message spread faster than any fleet. The Council attempted one final move. A hidden weapon aboard a command ship activated, bypassing normal systems. It charged slowly, dangerously, drawing energy from the ship's core. The human soldier noticed instantly. "That is unwise," the soldier said. The council ignored the warning. The weapon fired. For a brief moment, energy surged toward the human fleet. Then space folded. The weapon vanished mid-fire, along with the ship that carried it. No explosion. No shockwave. Just silence where power had been. The message was clear. Humans allowed mercy, but they did not allow defiance. The remaining alien fleets froze completely. No more attempts. No more resistance. The human ships did not press closer. They did not threaten. They waited. The council finally understood. This was not humanity showing strength. This was humanity showing discipline. A power so controlled that it chose not to use itself fully. The battle was over, not because someone won, but because the galaxy realized it never stood a chance to begin with. The silence did not end when the fighting stopped. It grew deeper. Alien fleets remained frozen in place, surrounded by human ships that held perfect formation. No weapons were active. No engines burned. The void felt heavy, like the galaxy itself was holding its breath. The Galactic Council demanded answers. How did humans do this? One member asked. Where did this power come from? The human soldier did not respond right away. Instead, the soldier sent a signal. Across every alien ship, screens came to life. Communication systems that had been dead suddenly worked, but only one way. Humanity was speaking now. Images appeared, not weapons, not warships. History. Alien leaders watched scenes from Earth's past. Primitive humans standing against storms and wild beasts. Small groups surviving in harsh lands. Cities rising, then falling. Wars burning across continents. The galaxy saw something new. Humanity did not rise in peace. They rose through conflict. Every age showed struggle. Every victory came at a terrible cost. Humans fought each other long before they reached the stars. They learned how fragile life was, how easy it was to lose everything. The images continued. Two great wars that nearly destroyed Earth. Weapons that could end cities in moments. A world standing on the edge of self-destruction. Alien leaders leaned closer, unsettled. Humans should have ended themselves, but they did. And single quotes T. The images changed. Humans began to limit themselves. Trees formed. Weapons were controlled. Armies were reorganized, not to conquer, but to prevent collapse. Human soldiers trained not only to fight, but to stop fighting. The human soldier's voice returned. We learned early, the soldier said, that winning a war means nothing if there is nothing left. The words echoed across the council chambers. The galaxy had never thought that way. Alien civilizations expanded through domination. The strongest survived. The weak disappeared. This was law. Humans rejected that law. The images showed Earth's army forming. Not one nation, but many united. Different languages. Different cultures. One command. Unity through choice. Alien commanders struggled to understand. Why show us this? One asked. Because you think power is destruction, the soldier replied. You are wrong. The screens showed training grounds. Soldiers practicing restraint. Learning when not to pull a trigger. Learning how to disable instead of kill. Human technology evolved with this purpose. Weapons that remove ships instead of shattering them. Systems that took control instead of causing pain. Humans did not perfect violence. They perfected ending it. The council fell silent again. Their fleets had been stopped not by hatred, but by experience. Humanity had survived itself. The galaxy had not. The soldier continued. You ruled through fear, the soldier said. We ruled our fear. That sentence struck harder than any blow. The images faded. The council now understood the mistake it had made. Humanity was not young. It was tested. A council member spoke carefully. If this is true, they said, why come here at all? Why not stay hidden? The human soldier looked toward the distant blue glow of Earth, barely visible across the stars. Because silence does not protect others, the soldier answered. And we have seen what happens when power is left unchecked. The meaning was clear. Humanity did not seek the galaxy. Galaxy had summoned humanity by its actions. The council felt something new. Shame. For the first time in its long existence, the Galactic Council faced beings who had learned from suffering instead of spreading it. The truth settled over the fleets. Humanity was dangerous not because it loved war, but because it had learned to walk away from it. The galaxy had always been loud. Engines roared. Weapons hummed. Commanders shouted orders across endless wars. Power had always announced itself with noise. Now, there was none. Alien fleets floated in complete stillness, surrounded by human ships that neither threatened nor retreated. No alarms rang. No weapons charged. Even the stars seemed distant and quiet. The Galactic Council did not speak. For the first time in its long history, it had nothing to say. One by one, alien commanders began to act, not because they were ordered to, but because they understood. Weapons powered down. The glow of charged cannons faded across thousands of ships. Shield fields softened and vanished. Engines dimmed to idle. Control was returned, slowly, carefully, like an offering. Human ships did not move. They did not rush forward. They did not celebrate. They simply observed. Across the galaxy, watching civilizations noticed the change. Sensors detected fleets going dark. Long-range communications recorded something unheard of. The Council had surrendered. Not with words. Not with signatures. With silence. A single council member finally spoke. Their voice low and tired. We yield. The words felt heavy, ancient, and unfamiliar. The human soldier listened but did not respond. Instead, the human fleet shifted slightly, just enough to show acknowledgement. No threats followed. No demands were made. This confused the council. You have won, another member said. State your terms. The human soldier's answer was simple. There are none. The council struggled to understand. Every war they had fought ended with tribute, territory, or control. Power always took something. Humans did not. We will not rule you, the soldier said. We will not replace you. A murmur passed through the alien leaders. Then why are you here? Someone asked. The soldier paused before answering. Because someone must stop the cycle. Those words carried more weight than any command. The galaxy realized then that this moment would be remembered forever. Not as a conquest, but as an interruption. A break in history. Human ships began releasing captured systems. Alien vessels regained control one by one. Navigation returned. Communications reopened, but the balance had changed. The council could move again, yet it did not. Fear no longer drove them. Understanding did. Council saw itself clearly now. A power built on fear could only end in silence or destruction. Humanity had offered a third path. One council member, older than most stars, spoke quietly. What happens if we refuse to change? The human soldier met the question without anger. Then we will return, the soldier said. And next time, we will not wait as long. The warning was calm. That made it terrifying. The council accepted it. A signal spread across the fleets. Weapons remained down. Defensive lines dissolved. The massive armada began to withdraw from the dead star. Slowly and carefully, human ships did not pursue. They held position until the last alien vessel turned away. Only then did Earth's fleet begin to move. Not forward, not home, not across the galaxy. Stories began to spread. Of the day, the council fell silent. Of the army that won without destruction. Of a species that faced the galaxy and did not shout. Worlds that had lived in fear felt hope for the first time. Worlds that had enforced fear felt something else. Respect. The dead star continued to drift in darkness. Unchanged. But the galaxy around it was no longer the same. Humanity had not conquered the stars. It had taught them to be quiet. The galaxy did not return to normal. It could not. The silence left behind by Earth's army spread far beyond the dead star. News traveled faster than any fleet. Every world, every station, every hidden colony heard the same story. The Galactic Council had been stopped, not defeated in fire, not destroyed in war. Stopped for civilizations that had lived under the Council's shadow. The news felt unreal. Many did not believe it at first. They had known only fear for generations. But proof came quickly. Council fleets withdrew from occupied systems. Blockades vanished. Tribute demands ended overnight. Worlds that had been drained for resources were suddenly left alone. Confusion followed. Some worlds panicked, expecting a trick. Others prepared for invasion from rival powers. A few celebrated too early. Humanity did none of that. Earth's army did not take control of Council space. Human fleets did not replace alien governors. No flags were planted. No borders were redrawn. Instead, humans sent observers. Small ships arrived in troubled systems. They carried no heavy weapons. Their crews spoke little. They listened more than they talked. This unsettled galaxy. Power was supposed to command. Humans chose to watch. The Galactic Council met again, but the chamber felt empty now. The same beings sat in the same places, yet their authority felt thin. Fragile. They could issue orders that no one rushed to obey. The Council realized its age was ending. One member spoke the truth aloud. "We rule because others fear us," it said. "And fear is gone." The silence that followed confirmed it. Humanity had not destroyed the Council. They had removed its foundation. Across the galaxy, smaller alliances formed. Worlds that had once been enemies began to talk. Trade replaced conquest. Defense replaced expansion. It was not peace, but it was different. Human envoys offered something. New. Rules. Not laws enforced by force, but agreements backed by presence. If a world was attacked without cause, human ships would arrive not to conquer, but to stop the fighting. The promise spread quickly. Predators hesitated. Old empires paused. No one wanted to be the next lesson. Earth's army became a name spoken quietly. Not in anger. Not in praise. In caution. The human soldier who had faced the Council returned to Earth. No medals were given. No great parade followed. The soldier simply stepped out of the armor and went home. On Earth, life continued. Children went to school. Cities lived and breathed. Humanity did not change itself for the galaxy. The galaxy changed for humanity. Some alien leaders hated this new order. They whispered about resistance, about secret weapons and future revenge. Humans listened and waited. Other worlds reached out to Earth directly. They asked questions. They shared history. They admitted fear. Humans answered honestly. "We are not perfect," they said. "We are just careful." Slowly, trust replaced terror in places long ruled by war. The Galactic Council still existed, but only as a voice, not a fist. Decisions now required agreement. Power had to be shared. For the first time, the galaxy began to feel old wounds instead of ignoring them, and healing began. Far from the centers of power. Traders moved safely through space. Refugees returned home. Borders softened. The stars felt less hostile. Yet one truth remained, clear to everyone. If a galaxy returned to its old ways, Earth's army would return too. Not with noise, not with conquest, with silence. The stars had grown quieter after Earth's arrival. Civilizations that once shouted across space now spoke carefully. Traders moved slowly. Armies held their positions without provocation. And empires that had thrived on fear now whispered in shadowed chambers. Stories began to spread, carried not by weapons but by travelers, messengers, and holographic transmissions. Tales of Earth's army, the army that had faced the galaxy alone and without noise traveled faster than any fleet, reaching the farthest corners of known space. On distant worlds, children heard the stories from elders. When Earth's army comes, they were told, you do not hear them. You only feel their presence. And when that happens, it is already too late. The words carried awe, not terror. For the humans had not sought fear. They had taught caution, respect, and restraint. No one had witnessed the true extent of their power. Yet every being across countless systems understood its weight. The human soldiers did not boast. They did not parade victory. Their triumph was in what did not happen. No worlds destroyed. No lives unnecessarily taken. No empires shattered by brute force. The galaxy had expected war. It received judgment without rage. On Earth, the soldier who had first stepped forward before the Galactic Council sat in silence on a quiet hill, looking up at the stars. Behind them, the fleet rested in orbit, unarmed, uncelebrated, a silent sentinel against chaos. No one called them a hero. No metal glimmered on their armor. And yet, in every corner of the galaxy, their presence was felt like a shadow stretching across light years. Some historians, decades later, would try to describe what had happened. They would call it a miracle, a turning point, or even a myth. But those who had been present, the alien commanders, the council members, the soldiers who had trained under impossible conditions, knew the truth. Humanity had not destroyed. Humanity had revealed that control was stronger than chaos. Revealed that discipline outweighed blind fury. Revealed that courage did not always roar. It could wait. The Galactic Council, once mighty and feared, had not vanished. They had endured. But their voice was no longer law. It was a suggestion. And in this new order, every world, every fleet, every commander had learned to pause before acting, to consider humanity's lesson. Strength is measured not by the fire you wield, but by the restraint you exercise. Alien fleets patrolled less aggressively. Conflicts arose, but humans were never far enough to intervene overtly. They watched, silently ensuring that no empire again learned the wrong lesson. The galaxy learned that Earth's soldiers were not conquerors. They were guardians, though the term was debated in every corner of space. Guardians did not need to announce themselves. Their presence alone reshaped politics, commerce, and culture. Over time, the story of the lone soldier at the dead star became a legend. It was said that even the oldest alien commanders, those who had fought in wars spanning centuries, would remember the moment when one human stepped forward and the galaxy paused. Entire fleets had frozen. Weapons had ceased to fire. Commands had failed. And still, that human did not move aggressively. They waited, one elder commander said. Decades later, and in their waiting, we learned fear and respect in the same instant. Civilizations began to honor humans in subtle ways. Statues were built in distant systems, not to glorify conquest, but to symbolize balance. Schools taught the lesson of patience and strategy. Philosophers debated the morality and wisdom of a species that wielded power without hatred. Even alien cultures that once prided themselves on violence began to experiment with restraint, hoping to emulate the humans who had never shouted victory. Yet not all tales were told openly. Some warned in hushed tones that humanity's calm was deceptive. "Do not mistake silence for weakness," they whispered. "The quiet does not mean mercy is gone. It means judgment waits patiently. And when it comes, it is precise and total. And so, across the stars, humans became more than just a species. They became a standard, a measurement by which others compared courage, control, and discipline. Humans were feared, not for destruction, but for their understanding of war. Back on Earth, life went on as it always had. Children played in the streets. Scientists explored new technologies. Soldiers trained quietly, not seeking fame or recognition. The planet itself seemed ordinary to those who lived on it, yet from orbit, the calm blue world was a sentinel. A single planet whose people had changed the course of history. The human soldier, older now, would sometimes walk along the same quiet hill, gazing at the stars. Memories of the dead star, the silent fleets, and the frozen council were vivid, yet they felt no pride. Humanity's strength, they knew, was not in glory. It was in the lessons taught without words, in victories measured in restraint, and in a galaxy forever changed without a single battle cry. Legends would continue. Songs, holograms, and stories across thousands of systems would carry the tale of Earth's army. Travelers would tell each other that, when a human ship appeared on sensors, the silence that followed was not emptiness, it was judgment. And across every corner of space, every civilization would remember, if Earth's army goes quiet, it is already too late. For humanity had shown the galaxy a new path. A path of strength tempered with wisdom. A path where courage did not need violence to prove itself. A path that whispered across the stars, echoing in the hearts of every species brave enough to survive and wise enough to listen. And somewhere, far above the calm blue planet, human soldiers stood. Not as conquerors, not as kings, not as gods, but as guardians. Silent, patient, eternal. And the galaxy remembered. The galaxy had grown quiet. Worlds rebuilt. Trade routes reopened. Old empires learned to pause before aggression. Humanity's influence spread not with weapons, but with presence. Yet silence is fragile. In the outer rims, far beyond the systems humanity had observed, a faint signal pulsed, slow, deliberate, almost imperceptible. It was unlike anything recorded before. No known technology, no recognizable language. Something older, something vast. Alien historians noticed it first. Scholars whispered of patterns in the signal, patterns that suggested intelligence. But intelligence beyond comprehension. Entire fleets were dispatched to investigate. They returned incomplete. Messages were garbled, ships lost, and crews returned with empty eyes. Earth noticed too. Sensors detected the anomaly growing. The Galactic Council, now diminished in authority, but still operational, alerted humanity quietly. The humans did not panic. Their fleet shifted, not to attack, but to observe. The lone soldier who had faced the Council decades ago, now older and a leader among Earth's generals, looked at the readings. "This is not war," they said calmly. "Not yet. But it will test everything we have taught the galaxy, everything we have built. Humanity is ready. But are the others?" The signal pulsed again. This time, it carried a rhythm almost like a heartbeat. A promise of change. A whisper of something older than the stars themselves. Across the galaxy, every civilization remembered the humans. Every fleet paused. Every commander considered the lesson of silence and control. Humanity understood one thing clearly. The galaxy's next test would not come from the proud, the powerful, or the arrogant. It would come from the shadows beyond the stars, and this time, silence alone might not be enough. Yet as humans prepared, one truth remained. If the galaxy had learned to respect silence before, it would learn to fear it now. And so, a new chapter began.